Right now, an urgent manhunt is on for a teenager who is considered armed and dangerous.
That's right. Atlanta News First reporter Alani Latang is live from Clayton County tonight. Alani, what can you tell us about the suspect?
Yeah, Victor, Chelsea, police tell us that the suspect is 16-year-old Laquan Stevens. They say he is on the run after a young person, last night. They say that these young folks, these kids, had been going to a party, but before they got to the party, 16-year-old Laquan Stevens shot a victim in their face.
Emotions running high inside the courtroom as the teen came face to face with his stepfather. This all happening just days before the trial was set to begin. Local 10's Magdala Luisin is live in Miami tonight with more from the courtroom. Magdala.
Yes, Janice, it was very emotional inside the courtroom. The stepfather looking at his stepson, saying that he considered him as his own son and that he destroyed the family's lives after killing his mother.
This episode might hurt some feelings. I'm just going to be honest with you, because we're going to take a look at two juvenile cases and we're going to decide, do you think they should go to adult prison or juvenile prison? And is there any hope whatsoever for either both of these two, or at least one of these two separate situations, but around the same age? And I need you guys to help me out and tell me what you think about this. Fugitive TV, stay tuned. Fugitive TV, I am your host, Ray Marcel, where we take a look at cases of either missing people, sometimes cases that's been unsolved, and sometimes we look at it from a different perspective, because we'll look at it from perspective of, I would say, the other side of the badge or the other side of the law, because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. And what I'm doing now is I'm talking to you guys and motivating other people out there that, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. Well, today what we're going to get into is, no, there's two different cases, okay? Both of them are involving two young men, okay, under the age of 18. And do we think they should go to adult prison or juvenile? You know, now both of these situations are different, but they're both around the same age. And is there any help for any of these kids? All right. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is a young man named Laquan Stevens. I think it's Laquan Stevens is how you pronounce his name, I believe. Now, he was wanted. Now, at the time of doing this video, he was actually wanted to about an hour ago, okay? He was actually wanted, and they were saying he was armed and dangerous. Now, an hour ago, they said he actually turned himself in. I'm glad that he turned himself in. He's only 16. Well, with his situation, they say that him and some friends went to a party, or they were I guess on their way to a party. I don't know if they ever even made it to the party, but he walked up to an individual and used a weapon and pew-pewed them in the face. All right. This individual was supposedly sitting in a car and pew-pewed him in the face. Now, reports isn't giving too many details. It's not saying if he already knew the person, if they got into a fight beforehand. They're not saying that, okay? So, and it's hard to get a lot of information on juvenile cases because they keep a lot of it locked, throw away the key, closed. It's hard to get that stuff, okay? Because it's not an adult case. So I'm not too sure if he knew the person or not. I'm guessing he knew the person, because usually when you have a juvenile doing something like that, they know the person. And a lot of the times, 90% of the times, it stems from some sort of argument. Back in the day, when I was younger, maybe you was younger, arguments would be, at school, meet you outside at 3:00 p.m. or 4:00 when school ends, and you fight. You catch a fair one. Every once in a while, somebody might bring a bat, they might bring a knife or whatever it is, but we caught a fair one. We would fight it out, whatever it is. Nowadays, it's not like that with these kids. They could be arguing over social media, Instagram, and next thing you know, somebody's bringing out a weapon and they're going to look at, they're coming out pretty much trying to terminate them. But we don't know exactly how this happened. We just know he pew-pewed the person in the face. After that, he went on the run. Okay? Went on the run.
As they were sitting in that car, police say that the victim is still recovering. Officials say Steven also faces an aggravated assault charge from last August. They say he shot at a residence, then later posted about it on social media. Police say that Stevens faces has multiple arrest warrants against him, including aggravated assault, possession of a and also criminal damage to property. He is considered armed and dangerous.
Was on the run for, I believe, a couple of days, not that long. I didn't think he was gonna be on a run that long. I mean, he's only 16 years old. You can only do so much at that age, right? And if you are on the run for a long time, somebody's helping you out. Somebody's got to be helping you out when you're that young on the run. Well, like I said, he did turn himself in. Now, they also are saying that that's not the only time he's had a weapon and used it. They are saying he also did I guess you want to call it a drive-by on a house. Now, I don't know if he was driving in the vehicle. Don't know that. Could have been a walk-by. Could have been a run-by. But supposedly, he also pew-pewed up a house. Now, far as I know, this incident, nobody was hurt. I don't think anybody got injured, but still pew-pewed up a house. And, of course, this young man is going to be facing time. He's probably going to jail. I mean, it's going to happen. He's going to jail. Now, the person who got hit in the face, they're still alive. They're recovering. I think they're still in the hospital and they're recovering. So they did not pass. They're still alive, all right? So he's going to go to jail. I mean, it's going to happen. Now, we don't know how long. We don't know if the charge, because they have not really charged him of like an attempted M charge or attempted, unalive, anything like that. But I'm pretty sure that's going to come about. Some type of charge like that is going to happen. And when that charge comes about, he's going to be looking at some time. But he's 16. And when he supposedly used his weapon on the house, I saw he was 14. 14 years old walking around with weapons, man. Now, you can't say his dad was not there because in the news clip, it shows his dad was there and they're saying the mom was in the hospital. Now, the family is out trying to say that, hey, this kid was a good kid. He was kind-hearted. And they're basically saying he's a good kid, has good grades.
Blair, the cousins tell me that Laquan Stevens, just 16 years old, is a caring man and who went through unfortunate events these past years. And they also say they don't know where he is right now.
He's a good kid, he just been through a lot.
The family of 16-year-old Laquan Stevens says he's a caring young man who's had a tough life. Police accuse him of shooting another young person in the face on Saturday night in Lovejoy.
It's unfortunate that this happened, and we're also praying for the other child, too.
Police also allege Stevens at a home last August.
All over the world, these children is out of control. And the thing about it is, what are we going to do to stop this? How can we stop the gun violence? How can we save the youth so good kids like Laquan don't get mixed up and lost in the system? And then I want to know, where are they getting these from?
Stevens' family says he's the oldest of 8 siblings. He graduated middle school, now getting good grades in 10th grade. They say the teen has been through trauma in the past years. They say his family's home caught fire in February 2023.
They got my kids out.
His dad and all 8 children made it out safely, with 2 of the young children having to jump out of the second-story window. Family telling me Stevens' mother has been sick for years, living in the hospital, waiting for a heart and liver transplant. They say Stevens has been helping his dad and blind grandfather take care of the kids.
Laquan is a sweet, loving, caring young man.
Here's the thing, though, family. Here is the thing. A person could be good inside of closed doors. A person could be good when you walk in that classroom. A person can be good when you walk in the house and close the door. But the issue is when you walk out of the house and you don't have your family's eyes on you. Who are you hanging around with on the street that you're trying to impress? That's where the issue lies. So yeah, a person can be good in the house. Person can be good in the classroom. Trust me. I was on the run for 15 years. I got friends I can call on my phone right now while I'm talking to you guys and put them on speakerphone. And they will tell you they didn't know I was on the run. They was my good. I mean, they're still still to this day, my good friends. They didn't know I was on the run. They had no idea. They didn't know I was living under a fake name. They didn't know any of that stuff. To them, they thought I was a regular citizen, starting businesses and very productive, which I am, and still, but they didn't know about my past. They didn't know what I did until I turned myself in. Then they're like, whoa. Some of them still don't believe it. So you can be good to an eye and bad to another eye. It's it's possible, people. It's possible. So I'm not saying this kid was bad to the family or nothing like that. No, but obviously he was a menace in the streets. Obviously he was a demon in the streets if he's running around with weapons. There's a video of him, I don't know if it's on his Instagram or what, but holding up a weapon, trying to be King Von on one of these rappers you see. So obviously there was some influence. Now, with him, do you think that he should serve his time in an adult prison? He should be tried as an adult? Some people say you want to play adult games, you're going to get adult answers. That's what some people are going to say. Now, I know how he's going to be treated if he does go in adult prison. I'm going to tell you exactly how he's going to be treated. Okay? Life is not going to be good for him. It's not. If they send him an adult prison, let's say 16, 17, whatever it is, okay? It's not going to be good for him. Now, here's the thing. Let's say he takes it to trial, whatever it is. He could be 18 years old by the time it goes to trial. He gets found guilty. He go into adult prison anyway. But when you're young like that, you got people in there that's going to try and take advantage of you. And it could be all kind of ways of advantaging. As in, you're young, I'm going to use you to do dirty work. I got an enemy over here, I'm going to use you to go put in some work. And the young people, when they're in there, a lot of times they've never been there before. So they're looking for some sort of protection. So they have the older people in there that's been in there for a long time saying, hey, I'll provide you protection, but you got to do this. And some of that stuff they have to do might lead to more time. Pretty much getting trained to be an even more demon. So when they get released, now it could even be worse when they're out in the streets. But it's up to him as the individual if he doesn't want to go that route. What do you guys think? Let's take a look at this other one.
Nothing justifies what you did.
Strong emotional words from Frank Ramos addressing his wife's Derek Rosa, who is also his stepson.
Your mom was a loving mother. Losing her destroyed our family and changed our life forever.
In a Miami-Dade County courtroom Friday, Rosa, now 15 years old, is changing his not guilty plea to guilty on a lesser charge of second-degree murder.
I sentence you to 25 years in the Florida State Prison.
Rosa was 13 years old at the time of his mother, Irina Garcia's death. State prosecutors say on October 12, 2023, he stabbed his mom 46 times as she slept in her Hialeah apartment.
Ms. Garcia was discovered to have had multiple stab wounds to her body.
The gruesome murder happened while the 39-year-old's newborn daughter was still sleeping in the room. State prosecutors say shortly after, he took pictures of his mother's body in a pool of blood, took a selfie with his hand covered in blood, then sent those pictures to a friend.
All right. What type of knife was it? Do you know?
It was just a big size kitchen knife.
Had this gone to trial, a jury would have heard a recorded confession from Rosa during a police interrogation and a 911 call. The judge asked Rosa if he wanted to say anything. He only said 2 words.
I'm sorry.
Now, Derek's situation, of course, his is a whole lot worse. I mean, if there was levels to it, Derek would, surpass Stevens's level. How do you do that to your own mother? That's one. How do you do that to your own mother? And I actually watched the whole the court today. I actually watched him in court today. The whole thing was 40 minutes long. And no tear, no nothing. Now everybody reacts differently to everything, right? Everybody reacts differently to everything, but it was no tear to nothing, and he just said, "I'm sorry." I would love to know what's going on in his brain, at that moment while he's in court. What's going on? So he took a plea. He's going to do 25 years, and then another 20 years probation. 10 years of that is supervised, and the other 10 years of that is unsupervised. So he's got a chance to get out when he's 38, I think it was, or something like that. They said 38 years old, which means he still has half a life he can live. But do you think he deserves to get out? I shouldn't say deserve, but maybe should he get a second chance? Should he have a chance to get out? That would be the better question. And when you look at it's against his own mother. So if you have the tendency, if you could do this to your own mom, who else could you do this to? But then again, he's only a kid. Pretty much he's a kid still. I mean, what do you guys think? Now, I could tell you how he's going to get treated in jail. He's going to be treated in jail worse, way worse than Stevens. Way worse. Do you know why? Not only is he young, but the fact of what he did, you're going to have inmates in there that are going to look at him and be like, you know what? And this is how they're going to look at him. They're going to be like, you know what? You did that to your own mother. I wish I could see my mom. And then you have other inmates who are going to say, I wish I could talk to my mom again because my mom passed away while I was in here. And you had the opportunity and you had the freedom to see your mom every day, love, talk to her, and whatever you want to do with her. And you chose to do that. When the rest of us in here wish they can have their mom to either talk to them one more time or even be on the outs and hold them. So he's going to get it way worse. And he is probably going to get stuck with a prison gang. It's most likely going to happen in his situation because he's going to either have to have some sort of protection or somebody's just going to misuse him the wrong way. He might not ever get out depending on what happens to him in prison. And I hate to say it, but he might not ever get out. And some people might say he deserves to never get out, But what do you guys think? These are two different situations though, but both are around the same age. Do you think there's hope for either one of these kids or young men? Or do you think because they did adult crimes, they both should go do adult time? And they should learn a lesson the adult way. Because that's what's going to happen when they go to these adult prisons. They don't look at them no. They're young men then. They got to grow up quick and fast. It's going to happen. It's going to. But you guys let me know what you think. Comment below. And I want to say to everybody who's been liking, subscribing, if you're new, please remember like, subscribe, okay? I put out content almost every day, at least Monday through Friday anyway. And if you're returning, thank you so much. And for the people who have got the membership, it's very affordable. Thank you. I have your emails written down. I'm sorry, not emails, but I have your YouTube names written down, okay? And I'll be reaching out soon to you because I'm going to be getting your emails so that way I can send you a little email, a thank you email. And not only that, like I said, you guys are going to get, when the book is done, Rare Redemption, my life, how I was on the run for 15 years and everything I did up until now. This book starts, my whole life is in this book, my whole life. So it starts when I was pretty much, as far as I can remember, as 3 years old up until now. So you get to see how I lived, everything I went through, how I turned myself, everything you get to see right here. And all you guys are going to get a signed copy, okay? And you get discount on merch as well, too, like the Fugitive TV hat, Fugitive TV sweatshirts. I have some crop tops, t-shirts, and a coffee mug. I have some other stuff that's going to be coming too, okay? But Thank you so much for helping my channel blow up. This year is going to be great. And my whole goal is going to be to get out actually to where some of these crimes take place and report from the location. You can call me the next Brian Itten. So, Brian, if you're watching this, I'm trying to be like you, buddy. Thank you so much for helping Fugitive TV blow up. You guys have been great. Comment below what you think. Stay tuned. I have another episode coming for you. Not long, all right? Fugitive TV, I'm out.